it is. I'm anxious to hear what you have to say it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please.
I'm letting it
Yeah.
hook up now.
Okay, no worries.
So did you get moved?
Nearly. We found a place, so beginning of halfway through May we'll move. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Are you having to move far?
So it's about 10 hours up north. 12 hours. Yeah.
Wait, where are you at now?
I'm in Sydney at the moment, and
Oh,
I'm
you're in
moving.
Sydney. That's right. Yeah. Okay,
I'm
so
moving.
you're going up to what, Queensland?
Yeah, Sunshine Coast. Yeah.
Wow, that ought to be nice up there, right? Here, let me turn on the intro real quick. We got 12 in the house, but we should be getting a lot more than that. So
That's right.
it's only been on 50 seconds. Okay, be right back. So what's happening? We got Michael Muir in the house, and it's been a few weeks. He's asking me what's been going on. I don't even want to talk about it. What's been going on with you?
What's been going on with me?
Let me flip it.
Reflection there, good reflection. Yeah. A lot has been going on, so I'll try and think of where to start. I guess the energies have felt very ongoingly accelerated, personally, and in those that I've been working with, client-wise and in groups and stuff. And it's felt really intense. It's felt really intense in regards to people doing their shadow work and their deep diving, and really dropping into some stuff. I mean, what I'm noticing with a lot of people is that they're revisiting those deep places that they felt like, and in myself too, that we felt like we dealt with,
Yeah.
or done to death, and then suddenly you get smacked in the face again with that, with that wound, or that sort of karmic response, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I guess there's been a lot of people going through a deepening of and a clearing of the heart, of the sacral, of the throat, so that we can keep stepping up and keep shining and keep getting brighter, and so that we're ready to hold, I guess, whatever comes next.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, mate. Yeah.
No. I was just going to say, nobody gets out alive, and nobody's left behind. And nobody's left behind either. But yeah, we think these rabbit holes. We always think the rabbit holes are like conspiracy and disclosure, and we're the rabbit hole. And I think we forget that these rabbit holes are infinite, just like everything else about us.
Yeah, and I've been feeling into that myself a little around, I guess that looking every month, we hear, something's coming out, the disclosures are coming. there's going to be some relief from the anticipation and the holding that many of us feel. But I feel like I'm trying to decipher internally whether these disclosures are as big as they could be, or is it that we are sensing and feeling the energies that are coming in that really shake up and release a lot of the old timeline energy, that then we can sort of, personally, I don't want to talk for about anybody else, but personally then I can project onto the now, the potential narratives that are going to happen, when maybe that's not going to happen. I think it's all up for, well, we're co-creating together, I guess, so it's all up for to see how it unfolds next,
Yeah, it's like anything's possible.
Yeah, I feel
absolutely anything's possible.
Mm.
And so you have the work that we're doing in what we call dream state, which there's obviously too many people around the world that say, oh, I saw you last night and I was with so-and-so last night and we were all together at a pyramid. And so there's that part of it going on.
Yeah.
And then the vibrations of what's being agreed upon and planned coming from those aspects of ourselves, trying to communicate to us here. And then you have the what is it? It's like the wild card, the potential turbochargers when we start to align with it in collaboration, right? I mean, everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people have talked about 2020 beginning a new era of collaboration. And I think that's one of the things that comes with this expansion that we have within ourselves, oneness. Like, how do you have oneness when you're by yourself? If you're expanding in an experience like this realm, you gotta go out and
and I feel personally, and I guess what I've witnessed is that we're healing the separations within ourselves, so that we can, and a lot of it from that past timeline trauma, galactically, and earthly incarnations, that I guess we need to keep working on, so that we can come back into unity within it, and then and it feels like the synchronicities are ramping up, of connections, and people being moved around geographically.
That's happening. That's happening a lot.
A lot of movement geographically. I feel as though that we're being given with this new energy. I feel like there's like a reforming of the grids, and that requires us as the 144 to establish, I guess, new roles a little in what we're doing. And I think we're as we're clearing the space through the back of the fourth eye and the third eye, as we're clearing out all this old programming, I'm feeling like it's allowing for some new protocols to come in, so that we can then start to establish, I think, a new grid. I think, like you said, we are the new Earth. Our chakra system, our pillars. We've been preparing for our whole lives, if not many lives. So. I notice, people are going through, you could call it the dark night of the soul, you could deep shadow work. At the same time, there's this really strong fortification of the central pillar, and this anchoring in of the chakra pillar to be able to, I guess, step up now,
Yeah, it's like the innateness is superseding everything.
Yeah, for sure. It nails it.
Yeah, because it's not just like dealing with what we know is not even real. It's dealing with adjusting to Well, it's just everything's new about it. It's a new dimension. Like, and even like functionally, uh, the geographical moves, there's a reason behind that. And not only that, but the things that we're doing, we thought the things that we were doing when we woke up and had our downloads and Kundalini experiences and all that stuff was happening. We thought that, that was a game changer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in my opinion, this thing over the last 30 days, there is a new dimension that's entered in a very noticeable way, physical way.
Yes.
It's creeping in, and this is the game changer of game changers to me, because it's not just about awareness anymore. It's about actually getting comfortable with this new dimension and creating and actually exploring the different the vast differences. I mean, the total differences. We're talking about a whole set of almost like new elements and new methods, and everything's new and
Yeah, it's interesting. I've just in the last few days, I've been working with people. A lot of uh, mm, like a lot of like people that have had connection with Atlantis, if you will.
yeah,
And I haven't really been drawn to that timeline, the timelines for a little while. But it feels like now we've moved into this new it feels like like new plasma almost. I don't know. Sort of feels like we're getting. I've been really drawn to activating key codes in people that to bring in their remembrance really of their Atlantean gifts, because it feels like that lineage of star seeds that's come back at this time to sort of help the Earth transition. I feel like they're really been brought online even more strongly now, and the gifts that are coming through feel like they're just going to be very powerful.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I think as much as there is talk about and people receiving confirmation and communication from many, many different aspects and energy complexes of ourselves, like Atlantean, Lemurian, Lyran,
Yes.
the galactic elemental, so on. Uh,
Mm.
for every bit of that that's becoming more and more apparent, it's also
Mm.
becoming more and more apparent that we do this on our own. That
Mm.
we've got all the support in the world to be that which we are,
Mm.
and it's not coming through in a conventional way. So I think these things that we've done in following the guidance over the last few years that got us to where we're at, we continue to listen to that voice, and
Mm.
some of the some of the results of making those decisions following the guidance is going to follow the same pattern it did before, which is it's gonna raise some eyebrows. It's not going to be conforming even to
Yes.
the symptoms of our liberation when we woke up, and our detachment and all the different things that we dealt with. So
Mm.
on one hand, I guess, on one hand, it would also lend to creating more awareness of these people.
The other beings, you mean? Is that what you
Well, I
mean?
mean, of the humans that are making these decisions and taking it to the next level,
Mm.
it's the same choices of sovereignty, new choices that we made as we woke up. But now everything's changed. It feels like a different dimension, and so these things that we're going to do are going to be more in line with that dimension and the magic of it, and even further away from the norm here. And I'm just saying,
That's feel that.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying that the numbers are growing to a point where
Mm.
it's going to start to be noticed
Yeah.
what
And I
people are
think that's,
doing. Yeah,
yeah, and I feel like that's the shattering of um, that's going to bring forth the shattering of the the illusion, if you will, of them,
yeah, yeah,
whenever it does. And I think that will have to be um, gentle, in some ways.
Yeah, I think so. I think if we look at the pain of it all, right?
Mm,
The suffering, or that whatever you want to call that,
mm,
right? That like this isn't right. That whole thing, from
mm,
pedophilia to whatever you could pick your whatever you want.
of course.
But
Yeah. 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 Mm,
it's coming up in us,
mm,
so we know it's coming up outside of us. But what else has been happening with us when it comes up in us is we expand. And then and what's so cool to me is that now there
mm,
is more and more evidence and experiences of
mm,
seeing the relationship between the higher skills, abilities, and sensitivities from
mm,
when we go into that abyss, or we deal with ugly truths and we expand. So that's
mm,
so that would have to uh,
mm,
parlay into the collective. And not only that, but
mm.
that also tells me that if I look at my brothers and sisters and I see the speed of expansion that they've had in their personal journeys,
Yes.
especially in the
Mm,
last 15 months,
mm,
then
mm,
again, as within, without. So that tells me that no matter what it looks like, it'll probably follow the pattern of our
mm,
individual downloads, if whatever you want to call it,
mm,
triggers, downloads to
mm, mm,
expansion.
mm. Yes.
That when we come out on the first wave or two, because I'm sure it's
Mm,
going to be a little bit of this and a little bit of that,
mm.
but when we
Sure.
come out of the other side of that shock,
Mm,
um, I'm
mm,
talking collective, that
mm.
the technology, to me, technology, be it physical or non-physical, is going to
Yes.
be there waiting for us.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
other side of it could move very quickly. I mean, if you think about it, we could be in 1 year, not even an airplane never be used again. I
Mm,
mean, there's no limit to not just what the possibilities are, but how fast they can move.
yes. Um, yeah, it feels like anything's possible, like anything, it could go in any direction right now. And I feel like, I love the fact that you mentioned the stuff around the different narratives, say the pedophilia, for example. I think because so many people since the beginning of COVID have been working on that particular um, uh, topic, if you will,
Yeah,
energetic. That there's a lag, but then it feels like it. Then it hits mainstream,
yeah,
not in the way that it's talking about kids in tunnels, but it does come to the forefront around abuse, in abuse around sexuality and
yeah,
so I feel like it's coming through, and we are the forerunners. We hit the hot topics first. We do the grunt work. We do the neutralizing of the energy. We do the surfacing of the energy, and then it sort of comes out in a sort of almost like an abstract way, in a more almost manageable way for most in the mainstream.
yeah,
Um, so it's interesting how that the layers unfold, and I think that we go really deep and wide with our energies, and we'll filter it through the grids. And as we get more powerful and we move into these new locations, it feels like this is when things are really going to steamroller up. And I think also that many people are now getting stronger and more fortified in their channels, and the galactics are working with them in the sleeping hours, and sometimes not. And that is allowing uh, like further access, further out. It's like it's almost like I want to say all bets are off also around who's allowed to talk, who's allowed in, almost,
mm,
um, because of the time we're in. That we are getting more support from. I mean, it's not always good stuff, but there's more support from further away that we can access now, which I think is going to um, again be integrated into these physical vessels, our soul
mm,
knowledge, claiming these aspects of ourself, our sovereignty, and not just on the earthly plane towards the powers that be, but also like owning who we are from all those split off aspects that we've had from the multidimensional aspect of ourselves from every time. And once we've done that, or as the process of our life is doing that, I feel it's not just, you know, it's not going to end anytime soon, unfortunately. But you know, I feel like it's just reclaiming everything.
Yeah.
We're reclaiming everything, and then
if seriously, if you think about
mm,
one single
mm,
soul
mm,
that moves, that let's just say that
mm,
came into this, or was given, or
mm,
you know earned, or however you want to put it, the
yes.
template of, let's just say,
Mm,
the human Jesus Christ, right?
mm,
Let's say
mm,
that was the highest physical embodiment up to a certain
mm,
point, whatever, or
mm,
whoever they may
mm,
be. And
mm,
you hand it to one person on here who continues to do,
mm,
in this environment where there's so many people, and the beehive intelligence
mm,
construct of the non-physical, one
mm,
person could
mm,
literally light the world up. And I mean in so
mm,
many different ways.
mm.
And we've got a whole bunch of people running around this earth that are working on themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, what can you, I mean, you could be in a prison cell, you could be in a psych ward, you could be on a
Mm,
deserted island, and be affecting, in a
mm,
very positive, expanding way, the entire collective. And I
mm,
think many people, not
mm,
only are they doing it, but they've been doing it for a long, long time. There's people out there that have been doing it a long time.
mm,
20 years in the ascension is that's like
mm.
fucking 1,000 lifetimes. I haven't been in this game 20 years, but I know a lot of people that have.
Yeah.
Like yourself, probably, right?
Long enough. I can't remember.
Long enough, yeah. What's the number now?
How
So,
long have
hey,
you?
what's it been like over in Sydney? Have y'all had any lockdowns? Anything like that?
Sydney's pretty good at the moment.
Good,
They're sort of relaxing everything
good.
quite a lot. It's very. I mean, it's still there. There's a lot of talk about vaccines, etc.
Man,
But
that's going to be that will be the direct
mm,
uh,
mm,
reason for, if it were to be in any part of the world to be pushed as
mm,
mandatory, that would be a huge
mm,
uh, catalyst for personal awakenings, I think.
mm.
I mean,
I think.
granted, some people would conform, but I think there'd be a shitload of people saying, "No, I don't think so."
Well, I think also with the amount of setbacks they're having,
Hmm.
I see how they're hopefully, and also, I mean, my fantasy, if you will, is that it'll get halted at some point. I mean, and some of them already have been here. I know that Johnson and Johnson has in the USA, but so we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
It feels like it's sort of like such a so easy to get consumed, for me to get consumed by the what it all means, what it could mean for the future, and all that stuff, and then I sort of freak out for a few days and then go back to my life.
well, this is our whetstone for all of us, is the illusion and how real it can be. And I think we're
Mm,
probably,
mm,
we're definitely on the trajectory. There's no doubt. There's too many people that have, and this has just been prophesized. I mean, there's just so many things you can point at, but I don't see where,
mm,
it's
mm,
it's one thing to have a story of, let's say, the man Jesus,
mm,
in an age where there were many messiahs, by the way, which
mm,
was a word in that vernacular for a magician.
mm,
But
mm,
it's one thing to take the character in that story, the person in that story, and see
mm,
the impact it had. And let's just say that was a little world right there. The Holy
mm,
Land, a couple of million people, I think, if I remember correctly, during that time. But you're talking about a whole bunch of people here.
mm,
You're talking about a whole bunch of people that in ways that are seen by a lot of people, and mostly in ways that hardly anyone sees,
mm,
that are transforming.
mm,
And not only that, more and more people. I mean, look
mm.
at you do light language. I mean,
Yeah.
you and you channel light language. I mean, and I know you've been doing it a while, but
Mm.
when you started it, I bet there wasn't too many people doing it.
No,
And and
and
and and look at today. Look at today. I mean, not to take anything away from it at all, because what I'm trying to say is more
yeah,
people are connecting to that part of us that we didn't even know existed, and that in
yeah,
itself is an energetic force that just kind of spawns curiosity, um, and, creativity, the sharing, that collaboration thing you were talking about. I
mm.
mean, so
I think, yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I think that's just a real reflection that the energies are coming in, they're shifting the consciousness of the collective, the alignments of the planets and the astrology. You know, this cannot be stopped. This cannot be, the process cannot be stopped. Whether, how it plays out, who knows? But, it's true. Like when I first worked with light language, came through around about 2003 for me. So
Wow.
it was something that I left alone for about 10 years because I didn't really have any reference point to it, and I was slightly mad. So there's no one that was really working with it. So but now, as you say, there's so many people opening up their channels and working in that way. So it feels like, and I feel like that will just become more of a normal thing um, as time goes on in our community. So and just as light language emerged from sort of nowhere in some ways in the ascension process, then yeah, sure, there was talking in tongues at church and stuff, but it was very different in the way that it was represented. Um, but it feels like this is the sparking of this new, moving gently into this Aquarian age, which is going to bring, as they say, Aquarians are all about humanity and technology, and so of course the technology stuff can go both ways, but also I think it also speaks to us as individuals doing the work to bring out our inner alchemy and technology, and amplify our field
Yeah.
and connect with one another, and be a grid, really, so that they cannot keep activating the darker grids or the holograms that keep the masses in servitude. Mm.
Well, I mean, we've been serving as our darker grid. We've been the conduits for it, unbeknownst, right? I mean, so now that we're taking responsibility as a conscious creator, we like you were saying earlier, we are the new grid.
Mm.
Um, but I feel
Mm.
certain from my own perspective
Yeah.
that first of all, this period's been prophesized for a long, 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 long time,
Mm.
and there's something to be said for that, regardless of all the apparent distortion,
Mm.
impediments, and so on.
Mm.
But
Mm.
it would make sense to me that at a minimum, this is an opportunity to do what many people have channeled and written and so on, which is to collectively, physically transform or transcend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like for me that
Mm.
um, in order for that to happen,
Mm.
um, I I will have to look every single thing of an external
Mm.
symbol or event or person or whatever and be equalized with them. And so when I look at some of these most horrific things that have occurred, that are occurring now, and that have occurred throughout
Mm.
our history,
Mm. Mm.
I'm starting to make uh,
Mm.
and I'm saying this because not because of me, but because I think people are actually there's a significant group, and maybe it's 144, maybe it's whatever it is, that are starting to
Mm.
find equilibrium and equality and oneness with any and everything, as bizarre and crazy as it might seem, because
Yes.
I don't see how we could transcend not
True.
one person unless
Mm.
they embody
Mm.
a high enough perspective of their collective aspects to be
Mm.
able to see
Mm.
things in that manner, which is basically to see things as energy without a charge, but just information.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I feel like it comes back to compassion, I guess, about that we've played all sides of all roles, many lives, and here we are again.
Yeah.
This side, this time on Team Light, if you want to call it that,
Yeah. Seem
and
right.
and kind of doing our best to sort of accept. It's really acceptance, isn't it? It's really acceptance of our own shadows, but in the turn of that, accepting the collective shadows and what's played out and why it's played out and what it is all for.
Yeah.
You know.
Or you just after the last show, because I did a show with my brother Michael Mejia, and he's an incredible poet, and
Mhm.
he called Morgan after the show, so I was just
Yeah.
sitting around and I just felt like writing something. But the reason I felt like writing it
Mm.
was almost going to be like a
Mm.
sarcastic message to myself,
Ah, what
right?
would you?
Because I had written something this morning,
Mm.
and I had put that regardless of what God you were in a
Mm.
past life, regardless of who you channel,
Mm.
uh, yeah. So we may have been a God in a past life,
Yes.
visited by one, or given physical abilities. Even
Yes.
so, we
Yes.
came to be who we are. Get over it. Now, this
I
was a
like.
message to me, not mad at myself,
Yeah.
but get over it in the sense of
Mm.
trying to escape uh, myself, right? Uh,
Sure.
Trying to escape and it's so crazy because I was thinking, trying to escape myself,
Mm.
yet I'm finding myself. So
Mm.
I got off and I wrote this because this phrase came to me. It was, when I have become all I have beheld.
Oh,
And the
that's
reason
good.
I thought of that is because of how many times have
Mm.
I said in my life, and hopefully it was longer ago,
Mm.
so and so does that, Michael does that, and Michael is that, and Michael is that, and Michael is that. And then I wake up one day, we mostly do it with our parents, right? Then you wake
Mhm.
up one day, or a
Mm.
partner, ex-partner, and
Mm.
you are that,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
I said, like, when have
Mm.
I become all when I have become all I have beheld,
Mm.
when I have slain the righteous, when I have served the oppressor, when I have shone in the dark, when I have cast
Mm.
my shadow on the
Mm.
brilliant world,
Mm.
all my beliefs consumed to nothingness, all my identities, voices, and lies,
Mm.
incinerated into the endless depths of her holy whole womb unconditionally. It is only then will I find the depths of my devotion
Mm.
and the deliverance from myself. So it's kind of like a
So when are
double.
you?
Yeah.
So when are you and Morgan gonna do like a
Hmm?
duo interview with
Who's that?
people?
Who's that?
I said, so when are you and Morgan gonna do a duo interview with people?
When are we going to do an interview? Morgan and I? What do you mean?
Or
Together?
like people together? That would be fun.
Oh, just me and her?
Mm.
Oh, we've done quite a few, but we haven't done one in quite a while. But I have a feeling
Mm.
that you'll probably see one certainly in, I would think, in June. I mean, May.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. There's some things lining up, that kind of stuff to happen. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
and I
It's
think more of that feminine voice, which is mostly in the feminine incarnate, but not always. So there's a lot of men stepping up, and you've been doing it for years. A
mm,
lot of men stepping up
mm,
anew, both new faces and new faces on those who had stepped up before, and I would have to throw myself in that boat. So there's that part of this colossal hodgepodge of Earth and off planet energies that we're mixing in and strolling down, the boulevard of ascension. there's all that, but I think that
philosophical.
that feminine part is a big part.
So should I do a little
Yeah.
light language shenanigans for us? Should we do that?
Here, I know you're kidding, but yeah, let's do some light language with some intention or anything. What do you have in mind? What do you have in mind?
But I do feel like that there's something around this unity energy. There's kind of, and really, if you don't mind me sort of just interpreting some of what you spoke about from my own sense of just this place where it's that the recognition of this the God within and the power that we hold and what we have come to to embody and bring through this life, and then at the same time I think healing and the humanness side, the wounds of the identity that we sort of built around our childhood and our childhood experience, for example, or came in karmically and replayed with our childhood experience. So it's that really deep, and as we do create space around who we kind of keep, the personality that keeps us limited, but also keep us grounded and earthly and relatable too, then I think as we create space from the ego, if you want to call it that, or the limiting beliefs, then there's more space for the other part to come in. And I feel like it's a real tussle to and fro at the moment with peeps. So I guess this energy that wants to come through, you could say it was from the Elohim, yeah. So you could say it was from the golden seraphims, yeah. And and we have aspects of us as them, without being grandiose or wanting to sort of be big noting or anything. We have aspects of us as them, and they have beautiful wings that go so far high up into the sky behind us, and they spread out energetically, so they can take so much space, and they can, as you say, hold the earth. Yeah. So it's almost like we can energetically wrap up our energy around the earth and hold it and create this sort of field of energy that will hold whatever needs to be held. Yeah. So I'm just going to bring through some energy from that realm, if you will, those energies, and they're here just to say, hey guys, you're doing so well. We see the changes in you as an ascension, as ascension portals at this time. We see the emotional, we don't quite understand because we're not physical, but we see and honor the organic process that you're going through emotionally and physically to ascend. That is why we watch and we give you guidance and energy to support this process, being aware that, very aware that we have to taper how much we give. Because of course we wish for you to be out of this circumstance of uncomfortable feelings and outplays of global situations, but we also are doing this in a slow enough way that your organic form can integrate the higher dimensions. Because if we infiltrate too much light too soon, it would turn people a little insane.
No kidding. Look at him now. Sorry. I had to throw that in there.
But that's all right. So they're giving us a little bit of grace, even though it sometimes feels like. So I've heard people say, "Where are they? Where are they? We're not feeling supported." But there's many benevolent beings supporting us, including these guys, and they're saying, we are here, we are watching, we are part of you. You are not separate from us. It's that whole sort of galactic unity thing going on, and that they right now they just wish to bring through this golden light. It's sort of sparkling with diamond flecks, and it's to really come through your chakra pillar from your higher chakras, so 12th chakra down through to your earth star, and it's like a warm wave of light, of golden love, and it's to remind you of your strength and your connection and where you have come from, and also the purity within your heart. So even if there's days where you just hate the guts out of everybody and you don't want to be here, that's okay. Part of the process. You're still loved. You are still loved. So it's a reminder that you're in the perfect place. We're in the perfect place. Keep on going. You are love, basically. And so I'm just going to bring through this sound, light language, and you can listen to it and just do what you do with it. Don't have to do anything particular. Just feel it, sense it, listen to your energy as it touches your soul. And if you want to write comments on the side, I will endeavor to answer. Okay. So taking a breath, a deep breath into your belly, and letting it go, and letting just go, and just sort of feeling into your base and your spine, your energetic container in the physical body, and just listen to the sound. Kushkundoroko epati andaraki. Oshunde paraki antadeki, orkante deki koshunte deki, randeki. Bedeconte de Coterico, the Conte de Peticote de Patetico de Patoca de Peticat to the Cabarca de Catica. Shiparaconda de Petico de Baracantar Coticor. Boroconda de Boteca de Petico de Cabarcata de Patarco de Kiki. Kede Kurki Kandar, Kishke de Cote in the shade de Kurki, and the Gated Kushko, the Teki Koshko, Porcata that Kotriki. Dete bark Borshka that Gorkabata Katakato, Shonda dedicated the dedicated Okay. A brief translation of that would be how arrogant are we to think that we are not all of that? How arrogant are we to play it small and very limited because of our personal experiences this life and other lives? It is time. It is time to step beyond. It is time to remember. It is time to stand together. for we can create anything and everything we wish for the earth. The Elohim are supporting us to amplify our heart field, our energy body, all the way through the chakras, to build the communities, the crystal cities of light. We've got it all. We just have to have faith and hope. And we will get there together. We will cross the oceans. We will hold each other's hands, either energetically or, if you're allowed and feel safe to do so, you can do it hand in hand, yeah? So hang in there, people, is what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like in the spirit of what I was trying to write that I read to you. Was that was said better? There's an arrogance in our playing small, right? Because I think of like somebody who's got a deep rooted insecurity, like a bully.
Mm.
So it's almost like
Mm.
the opposite. Like it is an arrogance to think you're less than you are. I mean, it's like that's just a.
It's sort of. I mean, it's a bit. I wasn't meaning to. The energy wasn't meant to be mean to anybody.
No. It's like accountability. That's what it is. It's like a brother or sister telling you, get your shit together.
But softly.
Yeah. Of course. Well,
But
that,
I feel like it's sort of like a two-pronged approach. I feel is that let's move forward, let's do it, let's move past the wounds. And at the same time, I also honor those brothers and sisters that are really deepening into the pain of their childhood or whatever, or past lives, and that does feel very real. So there's the dance between feeling it, processing it, purging it, and stepping up. Like, yeah, do that work, but keep stepping up, you know? This is only happening so that we can get higher. Yeah.
Yeah, there seems to be let's say a newfound level of disconnection from the threads of the past, let's just say, that kind of handicapped us. They're still there. They're just not in the same light anymore. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where it's a totally new dimension. It's actually a new dimension. Something changed in these last 30 days, and maybe it was before, I don't know. But I sure have seen a lot of evidence where people are less focused on what's going on out there and more focused on what's going on with us inside themselves. And I think in many cases, even for some of us and even for me, we're doing it and don't even know why we're doing it. We just know we're being called to do it. And I do think there's a relationship between that work we've done, are doing, and will be doing with all the stuff that seems to be coming in louder and louder, which is again, let's say the phasing out of time and space, what we might call the psychic and clair abilities, and of course specific sacred wisdom or template we might carry within ourselves in our role in this whole thing.
And I just wanted to voice something that I've noticed with people. People can get disheartened and feel a little hopeless at times because of the energies that they're clearing, and also things that have been perceived from outside. And I think definitely there's been a process of looking out and now looking in, and or more in, and that. But also, I feel to say around people that are feeling like anticipation, or like they're ready to go, but they're not sure where to go or how to go. I feel like many people have come in coded to be activated at certain different points, and that it's all in. I just feel very strongly to say it's all in divine order.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so to those people that feel like they may be stuck, or that they may be kind of not sure where they're headed next, or that they've just opened up a load of stuff that was hidden to themselves in their own process or whatever. I feel like it's all perfect, because sometimes that, like you say, the energy's just shifted in the last few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and that has allowed an activation of a remembrance in some, and that feels like I think we get. Um, I think we have been protected since the days of Atlantis and before, where some of us that came to do certain things aren't opened till certain frequencies are hit on the earth. So, and as the frequencies start to rise, then almost like these portals or these key codes or these energies are opened, and then we get the clarity and the more access, and the wisdom comes through even more, I guess, more in a more empowered way.
Yeah.
I think there's been a reason why, for example, I didn't start my light language till 2012, and then blah, 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 because if I'd started earlier, I wasn't grounded enough. There wasn't anybody there to support. It wouldn't have been a good time. So my soul didn't really activate and work with it till it was time for my soul. And then stepped up as it's often too slowly for my mind. I'd I'd like to be further along, but it sort of feels like you have to follow the process and the organic nature of the body that needs time to integrate the energies. Yeah, which
Yeah.
that's what Elohim we're
Well,
talking
that's
about.
funny what you said about the mind too, because the mind wants it faster, but the rest of the oversoul
Mm,
community within ourselves is like saying, no. I
mm.
think it's like one vote versus the rest of them, because the mind's not ready.
No.
There's still, but there also seems to be rapid changing,
Mm,
rapid changes. Look,
mm, mm,
so what was it in the last 2 to 3 weeks? Judith Kuzel wrote about the spine, the new spine. Morgan wrote about it. I saw another one writing about it. And in the
mm,
last 2 days, I've had two of the craziest, like
mm,
when you crack your knuckles in my
mm.
spine.
Wow.
Like one
Mm.
of them was on the last show with Michael right when it started, and I heard it snap. I knew everybody heard it. I mean, so it was. There's something to be said for the physical evidence of what you described earlier. I mean, you can call it reformation of DNA. You can call it
Mm,
awakening code. You can call it a lot of things. But
mm. Yes.
so there's been so much emphasis and focus on the collective experience and how that
Mm,
has dictated
mm.
our understanding and awareness of reality, as limited as that might be. And now we're in this different situation. So it's one thing to be aware,
Yeah.
but now we're actually going, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Did
Mm,
you see that? Did you see those angel wings? Did you see
mm,
that light? Did you? Because it came first, it's like in the synchronicities and things. Oh yeah, we can explain that. But
mm,
now
mm.
it's not just I had this memory from past life, or I
Yeah.
channeled this today, or this came in today. It's like every day, all the time, and you're seeing evidence of it with people all over the place in a
Yes.
much larger way than before. So
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
that tells me that these higher skills and abilities and sensitivities that we have,
Mm.
they're part of this ascension, and they're going to come into our experience.
I feel like more and more. Yeah. I think I agree. I feel that the acceleration of it's the higher energies is going to fundamentally shift us. You
Yeah.
know, it has to, and yeah, for sure. And the physical, like the spine, like I've had a hip stuff going on, but it sort of feels like there's a definite, powerful physical component to the essential purpose right now for people. Um, if it's okay, Todd, I would love to do something
Go ahead.
around the throat as well.
Yes. Thank you. I
Yeah,
mean, do you know my throat was killing me all of a sudden right before we got on this show?
was it?
And I made some tea, and then it feels a little better now. But that was really weird. I was like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Mhm.
But the throat, the sacral, and the root
Yeah.
have been, the throat's just been like very consistent over the last 15 months, even longer. Like when the let's just say the theme for the month or the period of time is in and around a certain chakra, it seems like
Mm.
the throat chakra has been coming up like every third chakra. Like everyone else is getting like an equal proportionate amount, and the throat chakra just seems to be taking on a bigger and bigger role. Yeah, go ahead and do something. That'd be great.
Okay, yeah, I think that, and maybe that, I don't know, maybe that's around this whole um, speaking the truth thing that's been coming out
Yeah, while
around.
half the world's running around with masks on their face.
Yeah, true.
Well, I mean, it's all energetic. It's all an
Mm.
energetic, it's all a metaphoric presentation of a energetic reality.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we can't. Regardless of what your take is on mask or my take is on mask,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's an energetic suppression. That's an oppression. I mean, there's so many things that go with that. Which I guess when you look at it, to like what
Mm.
you're talking about at the top of the show, it's kind of an action reaction. So
Mm.
I saw a quote,
Yeah.
and it was a leader. I don't
Mm.
remember if it was like a Roman leader or World War II leader,
Mm.
and it was talking about that. It was talking about, uh, I guess, in a sense, it was just talking about the indomitability
Mm.
of what is inside of us, what we are, and how that nothing can contend with it. Not a government, not a you just can't contend with it. So
Mm.
the whole energy of a situation like the mask is, I think, creating to a significant degree
Mm.
energetic transformations in people, regardless of whether they're in a light worker circle or not, who
Mm.
are who
Mm.
are exemplifying whoever that person is that made that quote, what he's
Yeah.
talking about.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
It's sovereignty embodied. It's like, no, I'm not. I've had enough of this.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. No, I hear you. I hear you. And so so this energy is, we could say it was a blue light, like an electric blue light,
Yeah.
a flame gifted to us um, from our Palladian brothers and sisters. Yeah. Um, and it's really to help clear uh, energies that we hold within our being, from, uh, I'd say, more galactic lifetimes. Yeah. Where we have uh, had scenarios of abduction, or sort of uh, funny stuff with AI, yeah, or planetary tyranny, yeah, and takeovers. So if we are holding any of that frequency in the throat from other times, yeah,
Yes.
that is kind of uh, fracturing our voice, or fracturing uh, our beliefs in our voice because of other lifetime trauma, if you will. which may be getting activated and stirred by the current mask scenario, or COVID scenario in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to work with this blue flame, and it's going to come and radiate out of the throat, but then also just come up and radiate through the body. And it's from the heart-centered healers, the Palladians. Yeah. Kishke barkiku, kishke barkiku tedeki, shada da 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 So we ask you to come out of your hiding places, of the places that have kept you safe, of the underground, of the hidden places within yourself where you have hidden your voice through the eons. Those that have been into Atlantis, come back to your knowledge. Do not be afraid of the crystalline technology that you hold within your light body. Together we are activated, together we are aligned, and together we will create a new earth. We are the Palladians, and so it is.
So it is. That's another thing too. Is thank you. That's another thing too. Is I can't see myself, but I can say about myself too. But I'm speaking about people that I do shows with, and just people I'm coming across. If you look at, like, see, even at how long we've known each other, like, say, a couple of years, and you have these points where you come together and you see growth in the mirror that is you, right? But in the last month, the growth has been it's been a bigger field of potential than all the years since 2012 combined. I mean, you're like you look different, you sound different, you exhibit what I'm seeing in a lot of people and in myself, which is this centered, central, let's just say central at or near 0 point. Not that we're there all the time, but what I'm trying to say is that in that field of balance is everything. Like, we used to just be like, hey, I'm over here with my team and this is what I do. But this one includes like the human ups and downs, if you will, right? Like the human experience in all of its wholeness. I mean, if you think about it, and answered prayers and downloads and channelings and dimensional experiences, but the human experience, the gold in the human, we wouldn't be who we are. This wouldn't be the greatest show in the multiverses if it wasn't for the deep dive that we took.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think that's what what the Elohim were sort of trying to voice earlier, is that there's so much honoring and respect for us in the higher realms, for the work that we are doing, not just for the earth, but for everywhere. And I know when we're in ocean, it's hard to remember that, but I think they keep coming through to me because to hold space for us.
Yeah,
it is such a big change that we're going through.
I kind of see it as an infinity sign. We've been pulling information from those aspects that we refer to as our higher aspects or team. And then we're taking that information, we're embodying it, and the embodiment part is literally walking the talk, and you don't know what to do. It's just like, okay, wait a minute, and then that's when you put the call up. You're like, okay, please help me, I'm here to serve, and it all goes quiet like crickets because we're creating this template, and so there's this payoff that's happening.
Yes.
You know, our reverence for the universe and life itself is growing bigger, and those mirrors that we might call our higher aspects or team, it's got to be reciprocal. They've got to be looking at us going, holy crap, I didn't know they were going to keep going. You know, I didn't know it was going to keep expanding because we're providing code for them just as they're providing code for us.
Yeah, for sure. And it feels like, it's just going to keep. It's kind of like it feels like there's like it's an exciting pivot point for those that are on the ground, because whatever comes up next, that we are, they like much more firmly anchored in our soul embodiment, so that we will be able to do this holding of the space and the grids for the rock and rolls that'll happen, whatever if they need to happen.
That's right. Well, that's what I was saying earlier. At any point, we could flip. Things could flip to such an extent. I mean, for instance, if in the perfect world, this Friday night, all the world leaders gathered on a TV and said, "Hey, here's the deal. Here's our star family. Here's all of our free energy. We had our head up our asses, or here's our higher aspects that have filled us in on everything, and we were screwed up, or whatever." And everything was released. Everything was allowed. Nothing was hidden. The level and speed of technology, physical and non-physical, etherical and to this world in the physical form, would be mind-blowing. If you just look at the technology in the last 10 years or even 2 to 3 years, you've got chips going into monkeys' brains that are going to be in people's brains by the end of the year. You got so many different things. You got, we can't go to space. The next thing you know, you got all these private companies shooting rockets, and you know what I mean. So, and you see the soft disclosure in the mainstream media as well. So, the speed of which the transformation could take that it could be, is externally is mind blowing. Which is, again, as without within, within without. I think we are starting to appreciate just how much we've accomplished. If you only take the period of time that we've known each other, let's say known each other as in, there's Lightworker communities on Facebook and it's 2012 or 2013. I mean, we've made tremendous transformations and opened up stargates and portals and pulled out sacred wisdom, and such a comprehensive bandwidth in such a speed, an accelerated fashion.
So there's these beings that want to come and say hello to us as well.
Yes.
I'm just checking on my battery for my computer.
You need to get your plug?
Yeah, can you let me do that?
Yeah, of course.
I'll be 1 second.
Yeah, of course. Third show of the day. Starting to wear a little bit. Who do we got tomorrow? Tomorrow is Christy Grace, who's one of the collaborators on Soulogy Fest. Very important one. Jess Matri, who's been on before, and Marissa Indigo, who I don't know. We'll have a day off on Friday, and Saturday's Franco, and Sunday we're going to have a Soulogy Fest broadcast, probably for an hour to 2 hours. Some of the people are going to come on. They're going to be at Soulogy Fest. We're going to talk about it and play a few videos and see what we can get into.
Cool. So, so this energy from beings that look a little bit like blue avians, yeah,
Mm.
they're from further away, and they hold a lot of wisdom around technology for the advancement of the human mind, or the brain, if you will, for us to be able to connect through the pineal, come up with more clarity and more go further with our connections to different realms. So they're going to bring through this energy to just work with I feel like the third eye area as a gift, if you will, to sort of just open, to continue the acceleration and the opening process of our connection with them and other beings of light from different realms. Okay. So just again, feeling your body, feeling grounded, feeling your base on the seat or the floor, taking a breath into the belly, and out, relaxing. And these beings are just wanting to come in and have a little chat with our pineal. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow. Good stuff, man. Sorry about the mix-up. It's good to see you.
It's all good. It's all good.
You got anything coming up online? Let's tell everybody where they can find you. Website or
Sure.
your website?
Yeah, my website. God, I'm altered.
Ascension Amnesia.
SoulMagicCollective.com
right.
is my website. People can find me there.
Very good.
Also, they can add me on Facey. Michael Muir, just my name. They can search for me and find me on there. I've got also a Soul Magic Collective Facebook group, which I post stuff on. You can search for that too. And Instagram and Telegram and MeWe and all that jazz. If you message me on private messenger, I can direct you to stuff. Also, if you wish to do, I do group chat transmissions with light language that last about 2 hours, or for new moons and for special portal days. I'll probably do one for the 5555 portal in May, and maybe the new moon, the full moon, around the 27th, I think, if I'm up for that. I also do online activations, channelings, healings, and face-to-faces. So if people are local to Sydney or Queensland, they might be able to catch me. Or if I can do Zoom. It's still quite powerful. Yeah.
Right on.
Thank you.
Right on. Cool, man. We'll have to catch up together. I'll catch up again in a couple of months.
Of course.
after the Soulogy Fest, and
Yeah. Great.
yeah, and I'm just yeah, it's been interesting. I'm real excited about you know
Mm.
getting into this. Look, a lot of people have talked about this. Feels like it's going to run through the end of May. Like,
This.
or maybe that's not the right way to put it, but like after mid or late May, it's another. I guess almost like the elevation from all this stuff we're doing now. Different
Because you
world.
feel like it does feel like June's going to be another world kind of
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. That resonates. That
Yeah.
resonates.
So yeah, I think it's like Sandra Waters said sometime a while back before even COVID hit. That the waves just keep like the acceleration. There's no let up anymore. Hey, between the waves, there's no time to sort of have a little bit of a chill. Before
No, there's
you get into
not.
it's sort of like boom, boom, boom. So I mean, I guess we just got to keep riding the waves, hey? and managing the fallout and the clearings that come as a result of um
It's all happening simultaneously. We think instant manifestation is we think it's something we created, but and it probably is. But I mean, it's also the manifestation itself is a result of the transfer, or the speed of manifestation is a result of the transformation itself. So now we're getting a download and
yeah,
triggering and processing, integrating, and expanding all in one. Then
yeah, and that's
another one comes.
yeah, and I just want to say on the note around for people out there that may be in the sort of dip before an expansion, because I mean, I think people go in different rates. It's like I have felt like I've been through an intense time the last month, and I am feeling quite strong and powered up right now. But inversely, it's been hideous at times as well.
Yeah.
Most hideous. So just for people, it's all of the above. Hey? It's all of the above.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about how you and me and and really, I guess maybe everybody is looking different because they're like the scales of balance used to have, well, I guess has whatever we bring in,
Yes.
and now the human part of our experience is basically being held in the same reverence as all of our off-world stuff. So I don't know. There's something really powerful about the perception, the changing perception we have of our what we call our past and our lives as humans, where we felt so lowly and small. Now we're looking back at it, going, "Holy shit!" Which I think is what you were talking about earlier with the channel and the reverence that they had was. I mean, we're talking about a thick jungle in the cosmic multiverses here. We're talking about a very, very dense physical matter, and we're thriving. It looks like we're beginning to thrive. So, and I appreciate everything you're doing, Michael. And I put up your website and your other information on all the platforms. You guys take a look at Michael Muir. He's been out there doing the work for a long, long time. And anyone that knows him, he has a strong following of people because he's very real. And I appreciate you, brother. I love you. See you later.